A good day to all of you today. I hope you had a wonderful day yesterday. I've only been outside a little bit this morning, and it is so absolutely wonderful out there. So, again, I hope you can get outside today, get some fresh air, get a new perspective on life. Being outdoors, I think, is what it's all about these days, especially when it's not hot and humid. But that's my perspective on that. You might like it hot and humid, and that's great. We gotta have weather for both of us. So, yesterday we talked about questions. Questions. It was interesting for me to open up my devotional today, and one of my devotionals happens to be God Pause from Luther Seminary. And I'm going to have to turn around here a little bit to read off my computer. I was too lazy to print it off. So I'm going to turn around here and read to you what this person wrote a little bit. Not the whole thing. She begins with, I think it's a she. Yeah. She begins writing a quote from Rainer Maria Rilke. And this poet writes, "Try to love the questions themselves. Don't search for the answers which could not be given to you now." And apparently that's written from Letters to a Young Poet, 1903. It was interesting to me to read that today. And she also writes in here how much the Psalms use questions, and how much the Psalms use questions by a community for the community. There are, of course, the very individual Psalms, but for the most part, the Bible doesn't talk about the individual like we talk about today. The Bible talks more about a society getting along, and that's what it's all about for the Bible. But it's not for us, and I think that might be a question that we might want to ask. What does it mean to live into the question? And I think what that means is an honest look at ourselves that says, even though we would like to claim to the whole world that we have all the answers, really, we don't. Really, no one does. And I think once we start to realize that, a lot of differences can be put aside, and we can become, again, the community, the children of God, living together. We all have questions, and we all have our opinions. And I've talked about this before. They are opinions. And in fact, Maria, the last quote that she writes, or not the last quote, but the last section of it, "Don't search for the answers which could not be given to you right now." Answers aren't readily available to us, just like today. How do we live in COVID? Well, there's a lot of different ways out there right now that people are saying. Our scientists are telling us one thing, and people on the streets tell us a different thing, and it seems like people on the streets win. I have difficulties with that, but that's me again. To live into the question is to ask God, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? And when we do that, when we can finally say, God, what do you want us to do? It tells us, the person asking the question, we don't have the answer. And if we can make sure that we know that God speaks to us through other people, through creation, through whatever means, we will listen more. And that can change the whole community when we listen more. When we hear the concerns of others, when we hear the wisdom of others, we need to live into the question. And questions are so important. That's how kids become so incredibly smart, so incredibly fast. They ask questions. Yes, if you remember correctly, all of those questions drove us nuts at one point. But now we have kids that are wise, smart. Usually. It's kind of like I am wise and smart. Sometimes. So, today, maybe we should read the psalm. I'm going to read the psalm today. Can you tell I'm not well prepared here? Sorry about that. But here's our psalm. It's Psalm 85, 8-13. Let me hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people, to his faithful, to those who turn to him in their hearts. Surely his salvation is at hand for those who fear him, that his glory may dwell in our land. Steadfast love and faithfulness will meet. Righteousness and peace will kiss each other. Faithfulness will spring up from the ground, and righteousness will look down from the sky. The Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase. Righteousness will go before him, and will make a path for his steps. In that little bit of time, there are some major questions that came up for me, and I hope for you also. Let us do a little bit of meditation today. What was the question that came up in your mind? Or what is the burning question in your mind today? What is it that you would just like to scream about, that I just want the answer now, God, please help? What is that question? Do you have it? Do you have it? Okay, let's go. Feet flat on the floor. Find your contact points. Feet, of course. But if you're sitting in a chair, the back of your thighs, the sit bones, the back, perhaps the shoulders and the back of the head. If you need to make a change, go ahead. If you're lying down, you know all your contact points. Where are your hands or your wrists or your forearms touching? Breathe. Inhale as deeply as you can possibly inhale, and then hold it. Don't raise the shoulders. Exhale slowly. Inhale as deeply as you can. Exhale, belly button to spine. Get rid of all the breath. Inhale as deeply as you can. Exhale, belly button to spine. Let your mind follow your breath as it breathes normally now. As your mind wanders, bring it back. Note where you went. Be curious about why you went where you did. What is the emotion in your body today? Where is that emotion found? Remember, emotions affect the body. And the body can tell you what your emotions are sometimes. Do a quick body scan. Where is the tension today? If you learn that you can now take this just few seconds and relax the whole body. I found my spot today. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what my emotion is. I'm going to have to dig into this one. As you look around you, you will discover that you're sitting in your favorite spot in the whole wide world that you know about. You've been there before and you love it. Think about, what does it feel like? I suspect many of you are outside. I hope you are. You don't have to be. What are the sounds that you hear? Is there a typical bird that makes its sound? Are there leaves clapping their hands together that you are here? Are you by water? A waterfalls? A lake? A great big lake? Oh, that's where I'm at. Never mind. What are the smells? What do you feel? Are there any tastes? I don't know if you noticed this, but God is sitting right beside you. What was your question? Ask God the question that you have. Reword that question. Ask God that same question using slightly different words. You don't have to change the whole thing. Now, tell God a statement that reflects the whole question, and then tell Him after that, I just feel like this is what I think about that statement. It might be a statement that is false in your mind. Tell Him why you feel the statement you made is false or true. Now I'm going to ask you another question. You, not God. If you have asked this question of another person you know who disagrees with you, and you don't have to have that person in mind at all, what would they tell you about your question? How does that question affect the other person? Can you tell? Are they angry? Are they concerned? Are they just stating their opinion back to you, even though it's just opposition? There's no emotion there, really, just this is how I see it. Is that how they respond? Does your view affect how the other person can live? If so, listen to the other person. I'm going to give you some time with this. Check your body. stay relaxed, stay calm. Our emotions rising. Where are they felt in your body? And the other person has now disappeared. And you are left perhaps with a different understanding, perhaps unchanged, and more than likely unchanged right at the moment. What impact did this have on you right now? God was there that whole time during that conversation. And He thanks you for getting along with each other during this time. You've had a tough discussion, but you did it. You did it without anger, without hatred towards the other. Okay, there might be some, but you did it, and God thanks you for that, for just simply listening to each other, for your caring empathy towards each other. And so today, God thanks you. Breathe. Breathe in the breath of God. Breathe out your cares and concerns. Breathe in the breath of God. Breathe in the question and breathe out the question. Live into the question. And you can now wiggle your fingers, your toes, wiggle your nose if you want, open your eyes. As I said earlier today, you can probably tell that I wasn't quite ready for today. I wasn't expecting to go to empathy. But questions do help our understanding of the other. When we question God about certain things, then we know that we don't have the answer. And we don't have to push our answer onto others. In fact, we can live two different lives and still be God's children. So, go to God with questions. Question everything in life. And talk to the other people with questions. It's an okay thing. And again, Maria Wilkes, I forgot her first name, Reiner. I can never remember her first name. Writes, try to love the questions themselves. Don't search for the answers which could not be given to you now. The questions will be answered. Someday, and maybe not until after we die. But to live in questions is to live in community just a little bit better. To have empathy for the other person is to hear their side and to understand their side. And that's what I made you do today, is to hear the other side of the question that you already know. It's just we feel like it's wrong. And it could be, I don't know. But it's just one more way of becoming the children of God. So, a wonderful day, everyone. Get out there and enjoy the summer breezes. I have no idea what it's like in Indiana. I see an Indiana person online here with us, but we'll see you, Sharon. Say hi to Elle, and have a great, great day. It's beautiful here, and I hope it is there too. And I hope it is wherever people are watching. So, be well, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I will see you tomorrow. I have to go traveling tomorrow, but I think I'll fit this in just like I did today, way early. So I might be way early again tomorrow. This is Minnesota. Goodbye. Goodbye.